What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 11 of the First Eps podcast. We've got a super fun show today. I mean, they're always super fun, but this one even more so because we watched Dad, Stop Embarrassing Me, the brand new Netflix sitcom starring Jamie Foxx. And we're going to talk all about the ups, the downs
of fatherhood.
So sit back, relax, because we got a great show. My name is Eric.
I'm Keith.
And this is First Eps. All right, so here we are back for another episode of First Eps.
Back for another episode.
More punishment. Oof. We'll get into it. What have you been up to since I saw you last a whole long week ago?
Right. So still progressing with the new condo. Looks like things are coming along nicely with that.
We're getting there.
Yep. Contracts are being signed, et cetera, et cetera. Earlier we were talking a little bit about the I got something called the Retroid Pocket, which is
Yep.
That
thing's super cool looking.
Yeah, it's cool. Here, wait, I got it right here. Let me see if you can see it. Oh, kind of, yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
What game am I playing? Final Fantasy IV.
Of course. That's funny. I should have known the answer before I asked the question.
For those of you who have been watching, you'll know that's a recurring theme for me in my life. So, yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's great. Nice.
Other than that, just another week trying to get through one day at a time. How about you?
Not much. It was a nice weekend here, so we spent some time outside. I did some yard work, that sort of thing. Yep. I stayed up too late playing video games both Friday and Saturday night. So
what have you been playing?
We were playing Rocket League, and then we played some sort of zombie army game.
You're always playing a zombie game, it seems.
We're really struggling to find. So I play with Bill and Justin and Bob, and we're really struggling to find something new and exciting to play together. And then Dead by Daylight we've still been playing. Last night I just played Rocket League. We just played Rocket League a whole bunch. Okay. So yeah, it's been fun just hanging out. And it's, I don't know, I'm assuming that'll continue. That was our during, coronavirus, it was our way to have some social contact and stuff like that. But and now that things are kind of progressing and I can leave my house now, we'll see it, if that continues. But we do need a new game. We just got this new Predator game and I haven't had a chance to play it. It's not a new game. It's an old game. And supposedly it's not very good, but it was on sale this week for $15. So
exactly. Those are the most fun sometimes, the terrible ones, because you can just laugh at how awful.
We'll see. It was Bill twisted everybody's arm into buying it, and those are never good.
Everyone's got that friend like Bill, where he always has these ideas, and he sells it to you so nicely. So yes, and then you spend the money, you make the purchase, and you're like, why did I listen to this dude? He's like a car salesman. He's just not reputable.
Exactly.
Love him anyway.
Not reputable
Bill,
at all.
That's Bill.
Yeah, that is true. But all right, we got a lot to talk about. Let's talk about this new show. Yes. We watched Dad, Stop Embarrassing Me. It's a brand new sitcom on Netflix starring Jamie Foxx, based loosely on his life with his daughter, Corinne. So, well, let's do it. This is one, I'm at a loss for words here. This is one of those shows where I feel like we don't need to go over the plot points because there was not much. But let's go over the major parts.
Okay.
So right from the start, it starts off with them in a therapy session. Them meaning Jamie Foxx, his character's name is Brian, and his daughter, Sasha, in therapy with the most insane therapist ever, played by Lunel. She's a famous
I love her.
Black actress that's in everything.
Yeah.
So
she's one of those people that you've seen in everything. You're like, how do I know her? What has she been in?
Yeah. She's royalty in any black TV and movies and stuff like that. So
yeah, she should be.
She's great.
She's my favorite part.
But this character, many times now, I try not to be as explicit and vulgar during these recordings. You never know who's listening.
Right. Sure.
But it's coming this episode, baby. It is coming out of me because I sat there so many times and I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with this lady? Like, she is absurd. Like, first of all, she doesn't understand that they're father and daughter and like is constantly like, and she's like, I read the file and you guys are like a perfect lovers, just like Whitney and Bobby. That's number 2. That's point 2. She made a Whitney and Bobby joke. Like, A, you don't know. So I'm going 2.A right now. So this is point 2. And then A is a part of that. A, you don't know how that turned out, Whitney and Bobby. And like, B, like, what the fuck? Like, they're like, so anyways, that was really uncomfortable.
I love how animated you're getting about this. That really set you off, didn't it?
This show made me so mad. It did. I was so mad while I was watching this show.
See, we don't talk about these beforehand, people. This is all off the cuff, and I'm loving this revelation. Tell me more.
So we watched The Crew, and I thought that stunk.
Oh.
And the whole time I'm watching this, I'm like, I just kept going back to that. I'm like, is this better or worse than The Crew? And ultimately, like, because the way it made me feel, I think it's worse overall. We won't. I'm jumping ahead to my overall opinion of the show. We're not even hitting the point. But then Jamie Foxx is like, he's going along with it. Like,
well,
let this therapist think we're a couple.
They don't want to waste their money. Let's just keep going. Let's see what happens.
Okay, and then we see our first fourth wall break.
Oh,
and a narration by the daughter. Mm-hmm. So she's breaking the fourth wall and she's saying, "This is our life. This is who we are." Blah 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 blah. And then we see, the title of the episode comes in: "Black people don't go to therapy." And then like we see a flash like that.
Well, we can see why they're all going to be like her, like the therapist they had. My God. It was not the most productive session I can ever imagine.
Dude, he's like worried about the money that they're spending. It's like, what a waste of money. Like, this woman is just trying, like, she's awful. And then she's saying he's into thoughts. And I was like, and luckily I know what a thought is. I know more than Jamie Foxx in this situation. A thought, for those of you who don't know, is that hoe over there.
And not a thought like Jamie.
Not a thought.
Yeah.
And then this is so at this point, it's the first time I really noticed the laugh track. So I was like, so that right there, not as bad as The Crew.
No.
Like their laugh track was way like
much more reserved laugh track, and it didn't bother me nearly as much.
No, not at all. Like the laugh track in The Crew was like the worst part of the show, next to the writing and the and but this one, it was just kind of there. It felt more of a throwback than it felt just forcibly jammed in there. That's
what I thought about this entire show. I took it as a throwback, the entire thing of it.
Yeah. A lot of it was, like, I mean, you had the multi-camera, which we don't get a lot of multi-cam sitcoms anymore. So
I love that you picked that up. I didn't think of that, but sure, that must, yeah.
And then, the laugh track, the writing, the fourth wall, like, breakdown was like Saved by the Bell, or I don't know. There's so many.
A whole bevy of shows from the 80s, 90s to early 2000s did that. Yeah, I was trying to think of other ones too. I know Sex and the City started out doing that briefly too. It's always kind of awkward to me. I don't like it really.
And this one was heavy-handed. It did it a lot.
Yeah,
did it way more like regular than it should. Like for like stupid things, just to like jam down punchlines or to like get a point across is just like. So what do you think of that, everybody? And it's like, what is happening? Like,
yeah.
And then the therapist tries to have like a threesome with him and his daughter. That's when they gave it up. That's when they're like, okay, it's not worth saving the couple bucks if we got to have a threesome with this crazy lady.
But they stayed with her and they just went. So the therapist was kind of the central plot that they could talk about to set up their relationships. So they kind of went through using the therapist, like their ups and their downs, how she came to live with Jamie Foxx's character.
Yep.
You know, what their issues were, la 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 la. So I guess I'm assuming from here on out we won't have these kind of flashbacks. That they were just set up in this episode.
Yes, that was my assumption too. And then I guess the character as I was looking at like IMDb, she was only in that episode.
Oh, she is. Okay.
I think so. At least she's not a regular of the thing. And then okay, so we move out of the therapy office, and now my other favorite scene. Some sexed up lady is trying to get in Jamie Foxx's pants, like crazy, over the top, like that. If it was uncomfortable, that whole thing. Well, and then
did you not find? I thought that whole scene was odd. There was the model from his. So he owns a cosmetic company that his mom started. He's like the CEO or something. And so one of his makeup models is all up his grill, you know, trying to get with him.
Oh, she worked for him.
Yes. Yeah.
I did that in the 12 times that he said it over and over and over again.
Yeah. See, I retained that. It works for people like me who forget everything.
Yeah, that's a good point. It does work. Take note, Netflix.
But then they had this odd montage of them all like smoking and getting stoned before their daughter got there, which I thought was really odd.
Everybody getting high in the kitchen. They're all.
I'm all for, you know, having a little fun, but it just seems strange, especially when you know your daughter's coming over and you've got this woman upstairs, which I forgot about while they were getting stoned.
Yeah. So that was like, why is this weird sex rendezvous happening in the middle of the day or something? Is it the middle of the day? Like, why is there a kitchen full of people getting high? Like, none of it was explained. It was so just thrown together for like laughs, which weren't there.
Yeah, that part was really odd. It almost was like, it was strange. I felt like the beginning of this show almost was more like maybe a little more raunchy. And then they realized like not to make it as like, you know, blue collar. And then it became more like a family centric one at the end, more like a TGI Friday kind of a show by the last half. Did you think so too? I kind of felt like there's two different things going on. I don't know.
It was weird. It was, I think they're trying to just straddle the line because the raunchiness that was there was weird. And it like, feel like it shouldn't have been there. Like the whole like part with him and his daughter, very uncomfortable. And then there's the part where he slides down the banister and jacks up his dick and balls. And then he's like stuck there and he's like, a little help here. I'm like, you're going to ask your like grown daughter for help with your dick injury? Like,
well, I think it was just to take him off the pillow.
Yeah, but still, he's got a reference
right then. He has tight pants on.
He did, yeah. But also, like at the same time, it was like pointing out, like, "Hey, look at my dick hurts. Like, can you help me with this?" It's like,
I know,
like it's just weird.
That was really uncomfortable the entire time because you could see, like, it was like David Bowie in what was that? What was it? Dark Crystal, where you're just looking at his package the entire time.
Labyrinth.
Yes. So Jamie Foxx does his best David Bowie impression with a cod piece, and you just see like this bulge in these tiny, tiny, skinny jeans, and I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
They were obviously like, you know, I couldn't take my eyes off of it because it was just so like horrifying, but yet intriguing to me at the same moment.
Like a car accident.
Yes. Yeah. Like
just a fleshy car accident.
Oh man. But yeah, I have to say that was one of there was a couple of things I wanted to mention to you too about the Easter eggs that we talked about a little bit earlier. Cause I did mention that to you about.
Oh yeah. You saw some more like throwbacks, some Easter eggs.
Like that's when I was feeling more of these like retro kind of like, you know, this fun. And like, there was definitely a moment where there was a dance scene where he walked into his daughter's bedroom.
Yeah.
And she was dancing with her headphones on, to some music. And then he comes in, Jamie Foxx, when they start dancing behind her. I'm like, this is directly like that Will Smith and Tatiana doing that in
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
You know, she's going like this and he's behind her. It's hilarious. And I was like, it wasn't done quite as well as was in Fresh Prince.
And firstly, I just want to point out, I think, isn't that the point where she says, "Dad, stop embarrassing me"?
Oh, okay.
At some point when someone was dancing. Oh no, it was when he was dancing at like with their pants on at the party. Never mind. That was a different
thing. The pants remind me a lot of that episode from Friends where Ross was trying to be cool and wear those leather pants that got stuck on him.
Yeah.
Same thing. So I mean, It was fine. I do think that I don't know if they did that because those are tropes or because they wanted to be cute and throw back to like classic, sitcoms.
No,
I don't know.
Don't give them credit. I would say they were trying to steal jokes from other sitcoms, is what I would
say.
Okay. Because the jokes were all so obvious that you saw the punchlines coming way far in advance. Like,
what about the one though? There was one I actually laughed out loud with.
Really?
Yes.
Tell me.
It was with the aunt. I love a good smarmy aunt.
Mm-hmm.
Jamie Foxx's sister, and their daughter was texting them all, trying to get picked up from the airport.
Mm-hmm.
And
37 missed texts.
Yes. And she's like, the aunt was like, that's ridiculous. You didn't pick up for your daughter. And she's like, oh, I texted you too. And she's like, oh, that was you? I thought someone was spamming me, so I blocked that ass or something like that. And it was great.
I texted you too. That was you? I was really like, who damn number is this? But you kept calling, trying to block your ass in case you was a bill collector.
Yeah, I know. You like a nice, sassy aunt.
I love a good aunt. You know what I mean? Yeah.
So,
in fact, Aunt Sassy, for anybody who gets that joke, there she is right there. Bam, 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 meta. You see, I don't know if people are going to get that, but you're welcome. You're welcome.
Let's see what other points. At one point, he did a terrible Jay-Z impression, which was really, really bad, which was then later followed up by a only slightly better Obama impression. Since when is Jamie Foxx a big impression guy? I know in Living Color he had a lot of characters and stuff, but
that's what I think he's trying to build on that, that kind of. Maybe. I think that's what. Yeah.
I know in future episodes he plays multiple characters. He'd only play himself in this character. We didn't get to see another version of Jamie Foxx. But
that's kind of fun. That's kind of cool. Then that's worth watching to see how that evolves.
Eddie Murphy thing where he's but yeah, it was at the point where he didn't pick up his daughter. And then blamed it on other people. And I'm like, this dude's he's not even likable. He's just a really shitty dad that's just blaming everybody else.
Yeah.
Dude, get your shit together. It was also at this point, I wrote it down, 17 minutes. That's the point when I looked at the clock and I was like, how much more of this is left? I could
mark that down, people. Let's see if you look before 17 minutes.
Yeah, if you could make it past 17 minutes, power to you. And then his daughter's all pissed at him, and he's got this big grandiose idea to make it all better, and that is to hire. It's the first thing that everybody would think of in a situation like this: hire a mariachi band.
Well, the one guy works for them. I was trying to figure that out. He was one of the people we saw briefly smoke. Like a Cheech and Chong reference. They took a big, huge hit. And that's another one when I'm like, this is a little stereotypical, isn't it? And then all of a sudden they had the guy in a mariachi band. I'm like, oh my God, okay. But, I don't know.
It's LA. Was it LA? Is it California? Are they in?
I don't know. That's a good question. I'm assuming no, Atlanta. It was Atlanta.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Which, by the way, weed isn't even legal in Atlanta. I looked that up after the episode.
Oh, shit.
Well, it is for medicinal, but they weren't doing that for medicinal purposes.
No, maybe. So maybe David Allen Greer was. He was the elder statesman of the house. Yeah. Now, I do want to make a point. He was my favorite character. You like the safety aunt. I thought David Allen Greer was great as the Jamie Foxx's father in this. Now, granted, he's only 11 years older than Jamie Foxx is.
I thought that too. I'm like, he doesn't look all that much older. Wait, he's 11? So he's 11 when he had him?
Yep. Well, in real life, he's not really his father.
No.
I think just because his beard came in so gray, they're like, all right, you're in. You're playing my.
That's why I shaved mine, so people didn't think I was.
You're my father.
Exactly.
And then we finish the episode. We go back to the therapist. Everything's sorted out, and then she's like, "We got 7 minutes left." And then she tries to get in Jamie Foxx's slightly lose her pants.
Exactly. She saw the episode. She was into what she saw.
Yeah, she does. But
I mean, I do think it was kind of odd, the whole hyped up, sexed up Jamie Foxx character. I mean, he's fine, he's cute, but I mean, I the women just throwing themselves at him seemed a little bit again harken back to an earlier time, which is why I'm like, were they trying to go for that, or is it might just be bad writing, like you were saying?
I don't know. I feel like in a situation like this, part of the you need to give them some credit. If you're going to make a sitcom, a multi-cam sitcom with the laugh track, it's got to be somewhat of a throwback, right?
Okay, yeah.
But we're so far removed from that with everything else culturally and like with entertainment and like these PC jokes and stuff like that. Like, and I get some people don't want to be. Now, this one wasn't nearly as like The Crew like had a bunch of jokes that were just like
cringe-worthy.
Yeah.
Like, I was cringing at almost that entire show, personally.
The jokes were fine. Like, I didn't see, but they were just not very good.
Yeah. I just thought this entire show personally was fine. Again, like you were saying, I did not find it nearly as annoying or cringeworthy as The Crew for me. I thought it was fine. So but
for me,
more reaction, maybe because it was so banal that you were just like, no,
like, it was just
more.
It just made me so mad in how lazy it all was and how like it just relied on so many other like you said, tropes and just the fourth wall thing for everything.
Yeah.
And it was just they tried to do something that was not original at all. There was not a single piece of originality in this whole thing. And then it just made me like annoyed. Just made me annoyed. Last night. When did you watch it? Did you watch it yesterday?
Last night also, yeah.
And then like all day I was just stewing on it. I'm like, I gotta look this up and like get some info. So I did get some info. It's at a 4.1 out of 10 on IMDb.
Oh wow.
I
did see when I went to watch it yesterday though, it was like the number one streamed show on Netflix.
Yes. It immediately, as soon as it came out, it was like number one. So like, and it's Jamie Foxx, dude. He's a draw. Like he's great in everything. Mm-hmm. Just not this. He
won awards like for what was it, the Ray Charles movie and stuff. He's been nominated at least, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. Django Unchained.
Right. Okay.
It's just a bunch of stuff. He's always great. So I was like, when we talked about like doing something a little different from our norm, like I was like, Jamie Foxx, dude, this has got to be like, I know it's like a crappy sitcom, but like, have you seen like Blackish or any of those?
I have not. I want to watch Blackish. I have not watched Blackish. I've heard really good things about it. I just haven't had a chance to get into it.
I was hoping for something more like that.
I love Tracy Ellis Ross. I love her.
Yeah.
Girlfriends, I used to watch all the time. Did you know that? Did I tell you that?
No.
One of my guilty pleasures.
No, it's hilarious.
Power to Joan, loved her.
That's hilarious. No, there's another Netflix sitcom that came out.
Seamless one?
No. It was by the Blackish guy.
Oh.
I'm gonna look it up. And that was like Black AF. Now that was a Netflix show that was done by Kenya Barris, who was a writer of, and it's about his like actual life.
Okay.
Watch that one. It's just like over the top, like, and it's very vulgar and like he's just like a very unlikable character. I was hoping for something like that because it was on Netflix, but this was very much not that at all.
Yeah, no. It kind of suffered from that. What did it want to be? Did it want to take advantage of the Netflix and do what it wanted to, which I think it felt like it was doing in the beginning, and then, or did you want to be more sanitized? Like what's that one again? Fuller House, when it got rebooted again, and be just like corny and schmaltzy, and it kind of was between both those lines, and it kind of seemed like a miss.
It was definitely a miss. I did see also on IMDb, people are saying now that this was similar with The Crew. People said like, you got to make it through the first 5 episodes and then it gets better. And it's like,
how many episodes are in the season? That's like half the season.
Yeah, this one there's 8 episodes.
I don't know. If I've got to watch half the season for it to get good, I mean, is that really worth it? There's so much good TV out there.
Exactly. That's why the whole premise of our show is you watch the first ep, and if it sucks, you bounce.
You're out of there, people.
No, this is not called Fifth Eps. But So, I mean, let's talk about for a second. Let's talk about Netflix and what are they doing? Like, so with The Crew and this one, what they're trying to create.
We watched Bridgerton too from them. Oh, but you want to talk about sitcoms?
Sitcoms that they're putting out. Like, they're both awful. They're both terrible. Like, not even trying. Like, I don't know. Like, if does Netflix just have so much money that they're just throwing it and see what sticks?
I think that's exactly it. Because you could tell this didn't have a lot of production value into it. You could tell it looked like rented stages. They just, put some tables in. They had a big unveiling party at one point for the makeup, a launch party or something. And it literally was just like, a big room with curtains in the back, like red curtains, tables set with nice tablecloths and lighting. And it looked like, like your cousin's bar mitzvah.
Yeah,
like, it didn't look, but it wasn't. I don't think that's what makeup launch looks like. I don't think, but maybe it, I've never been to one.
Yeah, who knows?
It didn't scream glam to me. It just screamed normal.
Yeah. So it was just, I don't know, like they're trying, like Netflix has had a handful of decent sitcoms, like nothing recently. But like Master of None was like a good sitcom, and like I know Grace and Frankie, everybody loves that.
Yeah.
Like that. And then that Black AF. Now all those have in common of being good is that they're using what the new series are using that makes them popular, like that the single cam, no audience, no laugh track, like you're not like constantly pandering for laughs, like, and that's what's made those popular. So I don't know like why we're going back now to like this older style.
I think it's something to do with coronavirus and just a need for like, I don't know, remembering what it was like beforehand, just like just get out of this, get out of my head, and just
some nostalgia,
good old nostalgia. Yeah,
an easier time, like, and also like you said, just they need to fill, like, so many people are binging everything. They're like, shit, hurry up, let's churn out this show.
Green light, go, Miles, go.
Yeah. So I mean, all that being said, let's talk about our favorite sitcoms.
Okay.
What do we think? What are the best sitcoms that we've ever seen in all of time?
So what were we comparing this to? What was the benches that it should have hit that it didn't quite reach in our minds?
Yes.
Yeah.
And for me, when I was thinking about this, like, there's part of me that wants to like have two categories, like
as a kid, what you look up to, and the ones that actually think are really good and stand the test of time.
And then the ones I ultimately decided on, the top three are more current ones. So I don't know if it's just the style from back then when you're writing for week to week, and but like, so like one of my favorites from then would be like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Like, that would have made the list. Like, absolutely love that series, but like, it didn't make my top three.
So good. It's not on my top three, but that's definitely my top 10. I would say that was such a great series.
Yeah,
I loved
jokes and stuff like that. Yeah,
I mean, the jokes are great, but no, I'm gonna what's his name was really cute, and I'm blanking on his name now.
Carlton.
Yes.
More of an Uncle Phil guy.
What?
All right. So let's start. What's your third favorite sitcom? We'll each do our thirds and then our seconds, and then we'll reveal our first.
But like you, I also had a hard time with this because there were some I wanted to pick from my childhood that I loved, but I don't think they'd be good now. But I'm going to pick the ones that I think that, like, if I see them on TV now, I will watch without a second thought because they still call out to me. So I'm going to say my third one would be Who's the Boss?
Wow. So that is a throwback one.
I love that one as a kid. I don't see it all that often now, but I always loved the premise of it. I thought it was so interesting to have, like, a woman, like, who was like a head of the household, and then this guy being like, her domestic, and then trying to figure out, like, what gender kind of what was gender the deciding factor between the boss, or was it money, or was it a little bit of both? And then of course they had, Mona, the sexy grandma, comes in for a little comedic effect. Yeah. And they're living in Connecticut. You know, I always had those waspy aspirations. So yeah. I felt connected with Angela. She had those big nerdy glasses. So yeah, I'm gonna say Who's the Boss as my 3.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now, spoiler alert, is Golden Girls on your list?
It is on my list.
Okay. I was gonna say, like, this would fill that kind of niche, you know. But
I have two classics in my mind and one more modern one.
We're seeing, we know a little bit more about you after this episode.
You will, sure. Yeah.
I loved Who's the Boss. I thought it was great. It doesn't hold as such a place in my heart as it does for you. But
I love the theme song. Oh my god, yeah.
That was the other thing. Like, it's hard to differentiate. Like, so I'm like, dude, I love all these shows, and I'm like, no, I think I just love the theme songs. Like, yeah. And The Facts of Life, and I'm like, I regularly watch The Facts of Life, but it popped into my head because the theme song.
The theme song was killer on that. That also struck me. I'm like, that wasn't on my top. I would say maybe also from my childhood, I would say that was one I loved watching. Not a top one now, but that was a good one too. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Tootie Blair, you know, all kind of quirky.
Yeah, so I think we should also make note, like, to have a good sitcom, have an awesome theme song.
Yes.
We talked about it before, intros and stuff. Nobody does the theme songs anymore.
No, did this one even have a theme song?
It did, but I didn't really know what it was.
Yeah, we were too busy seeing the therapist come on to the family. Yeah. Didn't think about the theme song.
Yeah, I was too, just in shock from watching that whole creepy event. My number 3 is Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
That's recent. Okay, is that still on or is that done now?
There's one more season.
Okay.
And we just actually did like a whole rewatch recently. It's Liz's favorite show, one of her favorites too. This is that so Michael Schur, he is the writer for this and The Good Place and Parks and Rec and The Office. Okay. And this is my favorite of his stuff.
Yeah.
So it's just such an absurd. It's one of those just really absurd, silly shows, but also has stories set in reality and characters that are over the top, but you care for them and they're realistic.
Oh yeah. I mean, like you said, that actually brings me into my number 2, which is The Office.
Oh, nice.
Because that's another one just like that. You know, the people are all realistic enough that you connect with them and they actually feel like they're part of your family in an odd way, or people that you would know, but just zany enough that you really can watch them and not get annoyed and just be like, yeah, and feel connected.
Yes,
totally. Yeah.
By the end of The Office, you love every single one of those characters. That's 100%. Writing. Yes.
Yep. I mean, Steve Carell, that boss is hideous, but yet still I want to watch him and connect with him, and I feel bad for him.
Yeah.
A lot like her. but I don't really think of this the comeback as being a comedy or a sitcom, so it didn't make my list.
I thought for sure when I saw that behind you, I thought that was going to be your number 1.
No, I mean, this is more a throwback to the comedy within the comedy, because she kind of had that show within a show. Again, you have to watch it, people who don't get it, but yeah.
Well, definitely watch The Comeback. It's such a good show. That was one. So that's when I was thinking about Netflix sitcoms, I kept thinking HBO makes great sitcoms, as far Veep and Curb Your Enthusiasm and The Comeback. Those are all just fantastic. Eastbound and Down, really, really great sitcoms with great characters. But I think also they're getting quality writers in there and just they're they stand by their product quite a bit. Whereas Netflix is just throwing up as much out there as they can.
Yep. I really do think HBO is really all about the quality. Netflix is all about quantity, and I mean, again, they've got the money for it, so
yeah. I mean, TV, it's HBO.
Exactly. Yeah.
My number 2
entry I just did.
My number 2 is It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Oh, I love all these lists. This is so much fun. That's a good one too. I forgot about that. Yeah.
So that one again, great characters, extremely over the top characters, very much hateable characters. That
do you think people at home will know who we are in that show? Who we most equate ourselves with?
Oh, probably not yet.
I mean, you can probably tell by me.
Yeah, especially you have the Keith method for picking up
men.
Mm-hmm.
I think Dennis is good with all those. Actually, no, it's not Dennis anymore. Now we switched it. What's his name is into guys now? Rob McElroy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's funny. Yes. And I'm Danny DeVito.
Obviously, people.
Obvi. All right. And that's a great one. So your number one then?
Golden Girls.
I spoiled it. Golden Girls.
No, it's cool. It's fine. I love that. I love it. I loved it as a kid. I remember watching it when it was on with my grandma. I didn't understand most of it, but it hit me then as a blossoming gay boy, and today as a still blossoming gay boy. No, I like it. It's on like Lifetime, and it's just one of those ones. Just put it on and let in the background. I'll be playing a video game or something, and just Throwback. Yeah, it's fun.
So my next question: are you a Dorothy? Are you?
That's who I most equate with, I think. Although I do think that Noelle, my partner, would say more of a Rose.
That's the meanest thing he's ever said to you.
Exactly.
She's a sweetheart, but dumb as a box of rocks.
Oh God. Yeah. So okay, what's your number one? And then you mentioned one though that I was thinking like, oh crap, that's another really good one too. It just completely flown my mind now too. But yeah.
My number one is Happy Endings.
Oh, really?
Which, it's always a shock to everybody. It's like one of my favorite television shows of all time, regardless of genre. Watch it probably start to finish. It's only 3 seasons, but I watch it maybe once every 2 years. The characters are so well written and so relatable.
Mm-hmm.
And the just all the jokes land. It's just I just think it's one of the funniest shows out there. And so many people have not seen it. And I definitely recommend it if you're one of those people that have not seen it, because it only lasted 3 seasons, and there's been pushes for it to come back. And it's funny, as I was looking at IMDb to see how many seasons this ran, I saw there was an extra episode that was made last year that I have not seen it was done through the through Zoom or whatever.
Okay. That's awesome. That's cool.
So I have to find it. I have to watch it. So that one is great. That one's got, again, another huge cast of characters. All these are I think that's the draw. With any good show, it's you want to like the characters. It's Always Sunny, they're not the most likable characters, but they're they're fun to watch, I guess.
Again, they're almost but they have redeemable qualities because they may be awful people to everyone else, but to each other, they kind of get each other at some point in time, and then they get through. They're survivors, and you like that about people. You know what I mean? Even if they're kind of terrible.
Yeah.
It's I don't know. You root for them.
Same with your shows too. The characters are what is drawing us there and keeping us there. And it's you can name all the names of the characters from Who's the Boss, easy. You can name all the characters from Golden Girls and from The Office. Even
The Office.
Yeah.
Totally. There's 80 people on that show. We can name them all.
And I can't tell you the single person's name on Dad, Stop Embarrassing Me.
That's true. It really was Jamie Foxx's show, and that I think was a big flaw of it. To think about it, it revolved around him. And he's, as you said, he can be a great actor, but this wasn't the best writing. It didn't showcase, and everybody else really didn't stand as high as him in the ensemble.
Yeah, not at all. It was just him, and especially when he would constantly break the fourth wall and then pander to the audience. It was it was just look at me, look at me, look at me.
Yes.
And
Schitt's Creek, by the way, that's the one that almost made my list.
I know. I almost put that on there too, and it's that one is going to have to see if it has the staying power that the other ones do. Whereas I constantly go back and rewatch them. We did just, as I'm saying this, we just finished rewatching Schitt's Creek again. Liz was watching it, so we rewatched it. So yeah, that one is another great show.
Yeah,
but
sorry, I didn't mean to stop you. It just came to my mind, and I just shouted it out there.
Just shout it out, baby. We could keep going. We could keep naming because there's so many. As I was looking at this, I was there's so many fantastic shows from growing up to now. But
even at Nickelodeon, mentioned earlier, I was thinking about, Hey Dude, Salute Your Shorts. Those things have a lot of fun memories to me.
Yes, and I think those probably have great memories, but if you went to and rewatch them, they probably wouldn't hold up as like a good show at all. I don't know, but they might even be better than this, quite honestly. And with that, I will say my rating is do not watch this show.
Wow, the lowest.
Yeah.
That's so low. We don't even have a formal way of saying that. It's just do not watch it. Just an X.
Stay away from this show. And I feel bad saying that because
that's lower than The Crew.
It is lower than The Crew, and The Crew is like, okay, watch if there's nothing better on. And this one, it frustrated me so much in how lazy the jokes were. Like, part of me does want to watch like a second episode to see if it's still that way. I'm not going to, because like you said, there's so much other great stuff that's on, but it was just so it's just so lazy and so bad. And it just whereas The Crew didn't make me upset, it didn't make me angry that at how poorly done it was. That was just shitty jokes at the expense of people, which I hate.
Yeah.
Whereas this one was just really just lazy jokes that weren't funny. So that's where I stand.
Okay, I'm. This is solid on the same level for me as The Crew. So it would be if someone else really wanted to watch it, great. I would never tune into it on my own again. But I would give it another chance to see. Maybe I would watch episode 6 to see if it got better and just skip till then.
Yeah, maybe that's a good idea. We'll go back for and watch that after after the season end of First Eps.
Yeah, perfect. We'll get back and
we'll go back and we'll do for next season. We'll have a show called Six Steps, where we watch the 6th episode of the shows that we stopped watching.
Perfect.
Putting that down. This is a great idea. This is
right. You writing that down? You got that?
6 Eps doesn't really flow off the tongue. Maybe we'll move it to 5th Eps.
5th Eps. Yeah, okay. I mean, but have the people been saying 5th episode? I think you've been saying 6th Eps.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But it's hard to say.
Right, but if that's still a crappy episode, it's not going to help redeem anything.
That's true.
So
they said after the first 4.
Oh, okay. 5th it is. Sounds good. All right, we're in. Put it down. Write it down.
5th Eps. So talking about the end of this season, this run of our show, let's talk about the future. Next week, we're going to watch the new Netflix series Shadow and Bone. I'm looking forward to that one.
A lot of good buzz about that. Yeah.
That one, again, back in our wheelhouse of mystical bullshit, whatever that is.
Where the writing's always amazing.
Exactly. So, I mean, we're going to end it. That'll be the end of our season 1 of First Eps.
Maybe a high note is what you're saying, right?
We're going to end it on a high note. We're going to, I was going to say we're going to end it the way we came in. What did we watch first? Was it Fate? Winx. Yeah. So I feel like this is similar. It's based on a book. It's mystical. So it's all cyclical. We're coming back around.
Shirtless dudes, no shirtless guys in this one. So, hopefully we'll end it on a bang.
Point. Yeah. Yeah. We got a lot of shirtless women in this one, or at least that one girl.
Well, implied shirtless women.
Yeah.
And then are we doing anything else for the end of the season? Or
and then after that, we're going to have our season 1 grand finale, the First Eps award show. This is a great idea that we had. Well, it was great. Woo! We're going to see how it goes, where we're going to award. I don't know what we're going to do. We're still figuring it out, but we're going to have awards for all the shows that we've watched.
Exactly.
And we're going to
thinking best hair. We're going to go through, award best hair for the show. We'll do the nominees. We'll figure out, though. We got to figure this out somehow, but
we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Will be a People's Choice Award.
I'm thinking that too. Yeah.
We'll put that out there on the Twitterverse and the Instagram.
Possible prize package for the winner of the do we have whoever picks the People's Choice Award, we get
I thought you meant for the winner we're going to send out awards to the shows.
Should we do that anyway? Because that's a great way to drum up some more buzz.
Yeah. We'll make some little plaques up or a trophy, and we'll send them out to all the shows. we still got a lot to figure out with this, but I think it's
Jimmy
gonna be a lot of fun. And it's award season. So next weekend is the Oscars. And, and then this will be right after that. So it's award season. What?
Okay. I feel like it's a little late for the Oscars this year.
Well, it's very late for the Oscars. They pushed it back due to no movies coming out for a year. So
makes sense. That could be a problem.
Yeah. So it's a weird year it's a weird year for cinema and that sort of thing. A lot of great movies did come out, though. So definitely, some good ones out there. I recommend Sound of Metal, which was fantastic. Watch that. It's about a drummer who loses his hearing. Fantastic movie. Nomadland, Minari, all great movies. But that's for a different podcast. But yeah, so
I watched none of those.
If you have any ideas for good awards or award show ideas, send them our way because we're going out in style, huge celebration, red carpet, guests.
Celebrities. We might have some people from the past. Some of our guests come back in to help out. Who wore it best, all that kind of stuff on the red carpet.
Perfect. We haven't even really talked about this outside of what we're just yelling at each other right now. So
yelling at each other. Oh, it's great. Oh my gosh, best brew? Maybe a best brew category too.
That's a great idea. Yeah. Now this beer that I had to go and get the best beer, the freshest beer I had to wash the taste of the show out of my mouth. So I drank a brand new Big Ditch double dry hopped hay burner today, and it was delicious. I don't have the can here, but it was very, very good. So if look for that beer. So yeah, I think that's all I got. Next week, Shadow and Bone following, and then we're gonna do the season finale, the big awards show. What else you got to add? Anything you want to throw out there?
I mean, there's nothing more than I can think of. I'm excited about this award show. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm gonna put on my thinking cap, and we're gonna have some fun things.
It's gonna be the best thing ever.
Yeah, I think I really do think some special guest appearances and stuff should happen.
All right. Well, we'll figure it all out, and we'll we got a couple weeks yet. So yeah, next week, Shadow and Bone. Watch the first episode if you want to follow along with us, or just come back, listen to us, and we'll tell you whether or not it's worth checking out. So thank you to everybody who listened, who watched this episode. Thank you for letting me vent a little bit. And, if you did watch this and you took enjoyment out of it, I mean, the show, Dad, Stop Embarrassing Me, you watched it and took enjoyment out of it. Let me know. I want to know what your thoughts were, what you found enjoyable. And, let's talk. Let's chat it up. So yeah. Subscribe to our YouTube, like us on all the podcast services, Apple, leave a 5-star review. Let us know what you love about the show, not what you dislike about that show. No bad reviews. And
you don't get to give it a no watch. Only if you're binging this show do you leave a message.
I realized I was opening a can there. I was like, let us know what you think. No, but only if it's good.
This is not a democracy. Our comment board is not a democracy, people.
Please, yeah. I think we have 9 reviews. One bad one would tank us.
Oh, yeah. No.
So, yes. Thank you guys so much for watching, listening, all that good stuff. We'll see you back here next week for another episode of First Eps. And then
developed by her cupcake, by the way. Have you seen this? It's kind of cool.
It is pretty cool.
Right?
It freaks me out a little bit. It looks like you're getting attacked by a cupcake lady, like she's going to try to grab you. Exactly.
Yeah.